Firefighters from nearly 24 departments throughout the region responding to a destructive fire this afternoon at the historic Rowleys Bay Resort in Ellison Bay. Good evening. Thanks for joining us today. More of that destruction you just saw behind us. The Door County Sheriff's Office says County Road ZZ will remain closed tonight as fire teams continue to monitor that site and put out some of the hot spots.
Although part of the building still is standing, the Sister Bay Liberty Grove Fire Chief calling the resort fire a significant loss to the community. In a first alert update, Samantha Cavalli joins us in Ellison Bay with what we know so far.
Bill and Cammie, as you can see behind me, they are still demolishing the middle section of the Rowleys Bay Resort here in Ellison Bay. Fire officials tell us that they received a call at 12:30 p.m. for a structure fire and arrived at 1 p.m. to heavy smoke and flames.
This is a very significant loss, not only as an employee base for the community, but this resort has a lot of history, right? It's been here for a very long time. There's a lot of Northern Door families that have worked here generationally through the resort. So it's as much of an emotional loss for many people as it will actually be a physical loss.
20 to 25 departments throughout Door, Kewaunee, and Brown counties responded to the scene of Rowleys Bay Resort. Sister Bay Liberty Grove Fire Chief Chris Hecht says based on initial evidence, the fire started in the basement and made its way up to the first floor of the resort's main building.
This building is very old and is multiple additions that have caused us some trouble as far as accessibility. There were fire partitions in the building that did slow the fire down, fire spread down, and that worked to our advantage as well.
In a Facebook post, Rowleys Bay Resort says all guests and staff were evacuated and accounted for. Chief Hecht says the whole building, though, was not completely destroyed. He believes there are sections of the building that potentially could be rehabilitated, but that will be up to the insurance company to decide. The resort and the food service department will be closed for the foreseeable future. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. If you or anyone you know has been impacted by the structure fire here and had reservations to the Rowleys Bay Resort, you're told to call the number at the bottom of your screen. That's 920-421-3005 to learn more information on what you can do for the foreseeable future when it comes to reservations. Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News, Ellison Bay.